Hi, this is Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and today I'm talking about 401ks and what to do with them when you leave your employer. If you're like other Americans, you may have a few 401ks you've done nothing with in quite some time, and you've even left them in your former employer's retirement savings plan. In this video, I'm going to cover a few things. What to ask before rolling your 401k over, if it's a good decision to roll it over, and how to do it. So first, what does it mean to roll over a 401k? A rollover is when you direct your 401k transfer to a new retirement plan or an IRA. This transfer process can be done custodian to custodian, or in other words, from one investment company to the other. A custodian to custodian transfer is the best way to transfer your 401k. Often, your former custodian will cut you a check and no taxes will be taken out, and you have 60 days to deposit it into the new custodian. If you don't deposit it within 60 days, it'll be considered a taxable withdrawal, and you may be liable for an additional 10% penalty if you're under 59 and a half. So let's assume you've decided you want to move your 401k out of your former employer's plan since you're no longer there. Now, before you make this decision, there are some considerations and questions that you need answers to. So first, do you need to do a rollover? The answer? No, you don't have to do a rollover. You have an option to leave it, but there are some risks to consider in leaving your 401k at your former employer. For instance, 401ks with balances of less than $5,000 are often automatically rolled out of the employer plan into an IRA at a custodian of your employer's choice. You may not be able to choose the investments, and likely the investment choices will be very limited. If the value of your 401k is over $5,000, it can remain at your employer until you choose to move it to an IRA. Now, another risk, 401k expenses now become your sole responsibility. More than likely, your 401k had shared expenses among retirement plan participants when you were working. Now, since you're no longer an employee, likely your 401k expenses will increase. Another consideration is employers will often choose investment options that are in their best interest and not in your best interest. Now next, how much will it cost to roll your 401k into another plan, either a new 401k or an IRA? Now, generally speaking, here's good news, it doesn't cost anything to do a rollover. Now, however, I can't speak for every plan and would assume there are some exceptions out there, but generally speaking, nothing. Make sure to address this with your Trajan Wealth fiduciary advisor, as you'll need to compare the options and make sure that there are no costs to do so. Is there another option? Yes, that option is simply cashing out your 401k and getting a lump sum distribution. Now, you can choose the lump sum distribution, but as I stated earlier, if you're under 59 and a half, that means a 10% early withdrawal penalty and taxes will be due to your uncle, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam could be taking close to 40% of it with this option. Now, I generally don't ever recommend this option under any circumstances, unless of course you need to put food on the table, and that's your only option for money. Then do it. So what's generally the best option? A 401k rollover into an IRA, and that's for several reasons. IRAs provide more investment choices compared to your 401k. With an IRA, you have most types of investments available to you. Your 401k has limited investment options because they don't allow the use of risk management options, such as annuities or other investments that may be better aligned with your specific goals. IRAs allow you to buy and sell the investments inside and do not limit how many times per year you can rebalance, like some 401ks do. Plus, IRAs may have lower fees and costs. The lower, the better. 401ks often have additional fees, such as plan administrator fees for administering the employer's plan, costs that generally pass to employees participating in the 401k. Another type of 401k to IRA option is the Roth IRA, which you may have heard a lot about. With a Roth IRA, you pay the taxes on the money before contributing, so no taxes are due upon withdrawal or distribution. If you're considering a conversion of your current 401k, you will pay taxes to do so, but This may benefit you in the long term if you anticipate that your tax bracket is going to be higher when you retire. Now, likely your income will increase through your professional career, as will your tax bracket. Remember, a Roth conversion may be a very good option, and don't buy into the fact that taxes are going to be extremely lower when you retire. It's often not the case. Another good thing about IRAs provide estate planning strategies. 401ks must be distributed to beneficiaries in a single lump sum, whereas IRAs have more payout options under the current tax laws. No one wants to leave their heirs a tax headache, so consider how your 401k could impact your beneficiaries if you should happen to leave it. So, as you can see, there's a lot to consider when you're dealing with old 401ks. Now, if you're ready for a 401k rollover, simply provide us a statement. Hey, and best of all, it doesn't even have to be a current one. Then meet with us at Trajan Wealth to determine if a rollover is right for you and in your best interest. So until next time, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth. Thanks for tuning in and talking 401k rollovers with me.